There is an issue right now before the Florida State Legislature. In fact, it is, I think it's already whipped through Senate and House committees. I know in House committees, it's run into a little problem in the Senate, and that is allowing students to have guns on campus in the state of Florida. At Florida State, Florida, Miami, any universities around the campus, around the state. And Edwin Walker, gun law expert, joins us right now. And Edwin, what is your take on this? Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, first, I'd just like to say good morning. It's great to be here. And this is the exact debate that the Texas legislature just wrapped up this past legislative session. Texas legislature meets every spring. I mean, every other spring. So the session ended. But campus carry was a hugely debated issue, and Texas passed its campus carry bill. And so people with licenses, which I believe is the same debate that's going on in Florida, only people with licenses. So keep in mind, there was a lot of misinformation during the Texas debate. The opponents of campus carry kept saying that it's going to create shootouts and students are going to use guns to intimidate professors into giving them good grades. I mean, some of the most absurd, illogical demagoguery that you ever heard came out against guns on campus.
Edwin, isn't it proof that people with concealed weapons permit are law-abiding and are involved in much fewer episodes than those that are not?
Yes, statistically, that's absolutely true here in Texas as well in other states. In fact, concealed license holders statistically even get charged with fewer crimes than police officers do. And so it is those crime statistics are available for Texas. They're available from the DPS. I'm sure every other state lists their crime statistics because license holders, what they do with how they get their guns and what they do with them in the event they're charged with crimes and where they are is monitored by the states. The states keep track of that. They don't keep track of people individually, except for assigning them a license, but otherwise they keep statistics on this specific group. And it has shown time and time again that this specific group is a very law-abiding group, and they don't get into any trouble, especially with regard to other crimes. And that's what basically this is about. People should have a firearm to defend themselves. You think, well, I may not, what are the chances that somebody's going to, that an axe-wielding maniac is going to attack me and kill me? You may think that may not happen, but what having a gun does, it allows you to protect yourself against, armed robberies and sexual assaults and all these other crimes that do occur quite frequently on college campuses. And that's what we're looking at. Is this issue is about safety and about allowing people, license holders specifically, to have the best tool available to allow them to protect themselves. Because ultimately, if you look at just your human right, your most fundamental, basic human right is the right of self-preservation.
Right. Edwin, it was just about a year ago, a gunman opened fire at Seattle Pacific University. He killed one, wounded a couple of others before being tackled by a student security guard who I believe was armed only with pepper spray. What about security guards that already exist on campuses across the country? What are their rights to even carry a weapon, if any?
Well, security guards, each university will have to set up its own requirements for security guards. Most states have different levels of security guards. They have security guards that are certified with batons and pepper sprays, then security guards that are armed with weapons. But this sort of points out my point is that unfortunately not every person can have their own personal police officer or security guard with them. And so what do they have? They have the ability to protect themselves. And the thing about it is, even if you say, well, you can be armed with something less lethal than a gun, the thing about it is that obviously the no-gun policy of that university did not stop the gunman from coming onto campus. And so, somebody who's already hell-bent to break the law, they are not going to be stopped by another law that says you can't bring a gun onto campus.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't want to, even if I get attacked with somebody with a club or a knife, I don't want to be bashed in the head with a lead pipe. I don't want to be stabbed with a knife. Shouldn't I have a gun to defend myself against those attacks as well?
Yeah, you don't want to take a knife to a gunfight, for sure. But, Edwin, we appreciate your joining us on AM Tampa Bay, our gun law expert. Thanks for being on board here this morning.
Thank you, Andrew.
Well, thank you. Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure being here.